Okay. Someone said the title of all my videos, because most of my videos I started with okay. I don't know why I do that. I think it's a bad habit. I look like crap this evening because I haven't had a shower yet, even though I'm an extremely clean person. So make sure to tell me I look like crap, even more so than I normally do. Make sure to tell me that in the comment. You look like crap, even more than normal. Had a busy, really busy day. Answered a lot of emails too, by the way. It's like, how on earth could I make another X-T2 video? I was the first person doing video reviews on the consumer X-T2. I even got my hands on it a couple days early. People are like, how did you crank out 30 videos so quickly? Because I already had them made ahead of time testing the camera. I do have to make a video on the X-T2, and I got a couple of these beasts. I'm an absolute vertical grip slut, by the way. Everybody asks, like, where did you get that hand strap? I was like, I made it. Really? Even though I made like 4 videos on how to make this hand strap, everybody can say, where did you get that hand strap? I do have to make one video about the X-T2, and I feel I've been negligent in this, and I don't take videos like this lightly. Like when I do a lens review, I get serious as a pit bull staring at a steak. I mean, I do. I get serious. I don't take it lightly. I really don't. And you better take that seriously because I do mean it seriously. He's like, get to the point! Tattoo freak, right? Okay, I'll get to the point. I have to give serious consideration after these many months with the X-T2. The X-T2 is the only camera I took with me on my last trip. I did make a mistake, by the way, quickly, and I mentioned this before. In the 50, this is one lens I absolutely did not want to, didn't even want to test it, much less even think of buying it. But I should have known better because I knew for a fact that all camera companies, all of them that make lenses, which is not Sony, by the way, you didn't hear me say that. They all have to stand behind a cherished 50. It doesn't matter if it's an FX camera, a DX camera. Every company spits out a 50 millimeter, and that becomes like a trademark for them. Okay. So I should have known that it would be really awesome, and it is. It's actually got incredible micro. I'd actually consider it now to be the best average general use prime and street lens camera from Fuji. Street lens, excuse me, from Fuji. Incredible micro contrast. The point of this video, now that I finally get to it, right? You're like, get to it, fat boy. Okay, chill the hell out. I've had too much coffee, but I don't say this based upon coffee. I've actually been thinking about making this video for a few days. Is that I actually do now consider, and it deserves it, that the X-T2, and it is really impossible to say this easily, because only like the Nikon D3, the Nikon D500, there are extremely few cameras that deserve legendary status, like the Nikon D700, the Nikon D3, D700, Nikon D500 deserve legendary status. That means they stand out as so astonishing. Also, too, the FUJI X100F, but you can't say it specifically the X100F, but the entire X100 line stand out as a legendary series. They're all improvements one upon the other, so you can't point them out, obviously, even though the X100F is the latest iteration, obviously the best specification thereof. But the X-T2 absolutely and unquestionably falling within the narrow spectrum of what I would deem a legendary camera. The FUJI X-T2 does deserve the status of a legendary camera. The more and the more I use this camera, especially after the last firmware update, and there's also another huge firmware update coming on the X-T2 because there's going to be 2-part. The other part is supposed to be later this month. That the X-T2 unquestionably does fall within the criteria of a legendary camera. It's really impossible to imagine anybody having the, and this is the only camera that I know of where the full features of the camera do not exist only in the camera. You actually have to have the vertical grip to get like the full frame per second, the lack of blackout on the EVF. I'm a total vertical grip nut anyway, so to me it doesn't even matter one damn bit. But I do highly recommend at least trying, if not definitely buying, the vertical grip. But the X-T2 definitely deserves the status of a legendary camera. It really, really does. I mean, now it's got voice memos. Oh, Jesus. Things are drastically improved. I don't even have to hit the damn ISO dial anymore. All I have to do is press in the front dial and click. I got it set to A. Wow. Wow. The X-T2 is actually underpriced for $1,600 for the camera, the excellent lenses for it. I've adapted tons and tons and tons of Nikkor lenses. You buy a $13 rainbow imaging adapter, and you stick all that awesome Nikkor glass on that on this camera with the photo. Also, I love infrared. Now it does have an infrared pass filter on it, but other people have noted, but I was the first person to note that the FUJI X-T2 is rather infrared sensitive, even though obviously that green looking thing, you look at the sensor, that green part is the infrared pass filter. The X-T2 is rather sensitive to infrared, so it works really awesome for just walk around infrared photography in the 720 nanometer range. So this is a video that I don't make lightly. And I bet nobody better ever accuse me of this being like a filler video. It's like, well, he ran out of stuff today to make a video about, so he just made this. I'm like, no. No, this is actually a serious video to me, even if you don't think that it is. That the X-T2 I consider a legendary camera. And that is a really, really, really narrow word that I don't use lightly at all. People's like, well, you know, what about the D7100? You know, like, I've had countless, God knows how many tens of thousands of people buy that camera off my recommendation. I mean, they're all happy with it. It's like, why doesn't that fall within the realm of a legendary? It just doesn't. You know, I listed the reasons why before in another video. I don't feel like I should have to go over them again. But it's like, there's something like the Reebok challenge. These people have to do all these, horrible, brutal exercise where you're climbing up vertical walls, using their toenails and all sorts of other, you swim and, just anything and everything to stress their body. They have to be a jack of all trades and a master of all trades. And that's really the short summation of what a legendary camera is, and the X-T2 is a legendary camera. And I had to spend literally a couple days thinking about that one. Does it fulfill all the criteria? And it actually does. And it doesn't squeak by in doing so. The last firmware update really pushed me over the edge on that criteria, and then there's another big one coming later this month from Fujifilm on the X-T2. Fujifilm is doing everything right that everybody else is not doing right. I'm not saying that, I love Nikon to death. I got Nikon tattooed in my hand. I grew up with Nikon. It's just a damn tool. You're right. But those crappy little cars, which, not the Yugos, there's another crappy little car. I think it was an Italian car. What's that crappy little Italian car that's always falling apart? I don't care how good of a driver you are. Nobody wants to use, a nasty tool. Or overheating cameras. Someone sent me a link this evening to a camera company and a camera, which you could probably guess which one. And he was shooting out in the hot sun, and a girl was about to hit a home run, and he was about to shoot it. And he waited hours during the baseball game for that super special moment, and he missed it because the camera took a dump on itself and drooled with an overheating warning. And the girl hit a home run, and I can send you a link to the video if you want. It's like, wow, he waited hours for the perfect moment, and right when he needed it to work, it overheated and peed itself. Okay. I want to buy 2 of those. Fuji's doing everything right. And the X-T2 definitely deserves legendary status. It really does. Been having a lot of fun with the GFX recently. I'll do a review on it. I need at least a week's evaluation to draw all conclusions on the GFX. I mean, I've gone over the owner's manual now like 4 times. I've had it on 3 outings already, even though I've only had it for 3 days. I had it out today, had it out yesterday. I even profiled my Sekonic light meter on it. I was checking out the dynamic range of 3 stops over, 3 stops under, and perfect exposure. Checking out the profile on it. So anyway, that's it on the X-T2. It absolutely, definitely does deserve the status of a legendary camera. And when I make a statement like that, that means it puts my ass on the line. And I don't make statements like that lightly. And I take, like when I do lens reviews or make a really bold statement about a camera, I don't care if you hate me or you like me. I don't really give it, you know, I shouldn't say that. I mean, everybody likes to be liked, but I'm not a person that, like, I don't tell people stuff like, oh, if I say this, they'll like me, so I'm going to say it. I don't ever do that. You know I don't do that. Even the people that hate me know I don't do that. So I stick my butt out on the line when I make a statement like that about a camera, because nobody's sponsoring me. I did get a free hat from Fuji, though. Fuji did send me a free hat. But I'm sure, guarantee you, that free hat did not influence my decision in the making of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, drop me a buck or two, because I work my butt off answering comments and emails, and I'm not really making any money. And all those people that think I'm rich because I bought a GFX, I'll remind you, I sold 4 cameras and a few lenses and saved up over 7 months to buy that camera. So please, I don't want to hear anybody else say, oh, you bought a GFX, you must be rich. And I'm like, no! You're wrong! You're very, very wrong. More wrong than you could realize. Thank you so much for watching. Увидимся, до свидания, aloha, hasta luego, all that crap.